So the covert beef between Nicki Minaj and Jay-Z/Roc Nation is far from over, and today we got some more that has come from the showdown that began to heat up after it was announced that Kendrick Lamar would perform at the Super Bowl in New Orleans over hometown hip-hop legend Lil Wayne. And before we get to it, today we also have more that's come from Diddy's former artist Dylan from the band. And some of you remember Dylan from the Dave Chappelle skit,
"Who are the 5 best rappers of all time? Dylan, and Dylan. Because I spit hot fire."
and he called out people who only became bold to speak on Diddy after he was locked up. And of course, users on the web brought up examples of people who've been on Diddy's neck long before the civil lawsuit kicked things off. And we also got a funny moment that's come from Pusha T whooping Travis Scott publicly. And today we'll end it with Relapse producer Mark Batson, who recently reacted to a post about Buffalo Bill that he co-produced with Dr. Dre. And starting with the not-so-covert beef between Nicki Minaj and Jay-Z, the 2025 Super Bowl was the main trigger that led to the recent event after the NFL, in partnership with Roc Nation, picked Kendrick Lamar to headline in New Orleans, Lil Wayne's hometown. Now, Nicki Minaj, who is super loyal to Lil Wayne, was not happy about this. And why, you might ask? Because Roc Nation, Jay-Z's company, has been curating the Super Bowl halftime show since 2019, and many feel they overlooked Wayne for this huge moment. And Nicki didn't just sit around quietly, and on the remix of Band from New Orleans, she dropped bars aimed at the NFL, pretty much urging them to cut ties with Jay-Z and Roc Nation. NFL, fire some dudes and then call us. A direct shot at Jay-Z and Roc Nation's decision making. But it didn't start here, as if you recall, we covered this story a while back when Nicki went scorched earth on Jay-Z and Roc Nation after the initial announcement that included tweets accusing Jay of letting his ego and alleged hatred for her, Wayne and Drake and Birdman influence the choice. She wrote, "Denying a young black man what he rightfully put into this game for no other reason but your ego." And she even took a jab at Jay-Z's NFL deal, saying one dude took a knee, the other dude took the bag. And back then, fans were split. Some said Nicki was speaking the truth about industry politics, while others thought she took it too far. Now, Nicki is not just mad about the Super Bowl. On June 19th, 2025, she posted some wild tweets that rattled social media when she hinted that Roc Nation, and specifically CEO Desiree Perez, might be sabotaging her career. And in one tweet, she expanded, "They don't want you to see what I'm liking." So that feature was demolished. Listening devices, cameras, car tags, pages you don't follow. Under the following section of X now, do I get paid for that? NFL, fire some dudes and then call. And of course, fans believe she's implying Roc Nation's got people watching her every move online. And to give you an example of how this may be happening to her, she also brought up a lawsuit against Perez, where Perez's own daughter, Damari Hadley, is suing her for allegedly orchestrating an unlawful psychiatric detention. Nicki reposted stuff about this and tweeted, "All sounds so familiar, trying to tear her husband away from his wife and family with lies and friends in high places. Yuck, no more distractions." And even some of Jay-Z's associates are already catching some heat from Nicki Minaj, as while we are yet to hear from the likes of Jay-Z and Desiree Perez, the primary targets, Memphis Bleak, Jay-Z's longtime friend, spoke to TMZ recently where he told Nicki to chill out and suggested she works with Roc Nation instead of fighting them.
A lot of talk since late last year of Dame saying Jay-Z wrote Memphis Bleak's rhymes.
Dame was never in the studio with us, so I don't understand where he would get that logic from. Why the ASCAP checks come to my house? They should be going to Sean Carter's, right? If he wrote them, I don't understand it. But if Jay want to write me some rhymes now, please do. I need a hot verse to get back so the youth can mess with me again, you know what I mean?
Nicki Minaj released a song with Lil Wayne today, and there's a line in there where she says, "NFL fires some ninjas," I might be paraphrasing, "NFL fires some ninjas, then call us." How do you feel about that line?
I love Wayne. Wayne, my brother, man. You know, me and Wayne put in that work at the same time. Much respect. Shout out to Carter 6. Go cop that, y'all. And as far as Nicki, I love Nicki too, man. I got no harsh words for the queen of rap. That's what she call herself, right? And I agree. She gets busy. As far as like NFL fire some and call them, why? If they fire us, they don't need no more. So when we done, you ain't gonna be able to get that bag. Chill out. We cleaning up, baby girl. You should come clean up with us.
I mean, do you think that there's still an opportunity for Wayne with the NFL, despite everything that happened with this whole, thing this year?
It would be if you stop digging your own hole. Like some people, they dig themselves a grave and then they throw the dirt on top of themselves by keep antagonizing and mentioning stuff. It's like, let them come to you.
And Nicki has set her sights on Memphis Bleek in a series of tweets. Would you continue working in a field where you are maliciously being kept away from your audience while everyone pretends to be mute, goofy, bleak? And Nicki Minaj reposted this about the details of the lawsuit aimed at Roc Nation's CEO that includes allegations of racketeering and conspiracy using company resources for false imprisonment, stalking, sweating, hacking, fraud, and many other things. And Nicki quoted this with, "Let's call Goofy Bleak to the rescue." And on the allegations of Jay-Z and Roc Nation, Nicki continued to insinuate some foul play behind the scenes, similar to the details in the lawsuit. "They've had access to my accounts on all platforms. I didn't change the passwords either. I let them continue doing everything they allegedly did to Demori to me, and you have no idea how disgusting it gets. Enough is enough." And we got some more clarification from Nicki Minaj to the PMs who claim it wasn't made clear to your ugly bums. Hopefully Demori's massive and detailed page-by-page claim gets you all the way caught up. And never call me a liar. Never insinuate it either. Every single angel ever created fights for me at the mere mention of that word as it relates to me. Vengeance is the Lord's. Be careful. No one who conspired on the wrong side will go unpunished for the role they played in this movie. I hope it was all worth it. And of course, some fans are wondering, I don't understand Nicki's beef with Jay-Z. He has zero reason to hate her. She has become so paranoid over the years. She thinks everyone is out to get her. She even thinks Elon disabled likes because of her. Like, don't people find that concerning? Loudly crying emojis. And on the other end, some believe Nicki's allegations. It only took one time for Nicki to allude to Jay-Z and his affiliates attempting to sabotage her career for me to believe her. He has a history of doing the same to other artists while also screwing them over financially. It just doesn't seem like a random grudge or beef to me. I don't know. And I'll be looking forward to your thoughts on this one. And moving on, we had former Diddy artist Dylan go off on people in the industry who were scared to speak up on Diddy before he went to jail.
Why is it that everybody and their mother have something to say 20 years later or now that the man is incarcerated? I'm not beef with no man in jail. I have stories of what I did that day. That's why you didn't hear from me for 20 years. And guess what? I have my integrity to this day. Let's say you at Diddy crib and you wake up. Let's say, allegedly, you wake up and you feel like your body been violated. You think your body been brutalized. You're feeling it's kind of oily. Something is wrong. You waking up, nobody there. You in the bedroom by yourself. You like, oh something happened to me. I was drugged. You in the house. You know it's a kitchen? You mean to tell me there's a kitchen? You know what's in a kitchen?
A knife.
Wait, all right. You know what is longer knife? You know what is hot oil? You know what I'm talking about? You know what is, there's hot oil, you could boil some water, you got a knife. You mean to tell me that you got drugged and got your violated and brutalized in a house with a kitchen and you did nothing but gotta tell me 15 years later when the man is incarcerated? I don't believe you. I don't believe you. I don't believe none of you. When it was over, I went to war with Sean from 2005, like I said, when the death row deal couldn't happen because of a cease and desist letter that we received. And Suge said, when the cease and desist is over, I got you. Blessings to you, Suge. But 2005, I went to war with who you call Diddy. I went to war with Diddy 2006, 2007. The Chappelle joke didn't help. 2008, 2009, 2010, I'm still at war with Diddy. 11, 12, 13, 2014, 2015, 2016. Where were you? Where were you? Where were y'all then? The only people that I seen that went to war with and were confrontational with Sean at these times is me and the Locks. And you see my outcome? Where were you? Where were all of these people who are so anti-Diddy? Oh, I forgot. You were too busy trying to get into the white party. You were too busy. Y'all were too busy. No one cared. No one cared. And we talking World Star. It was like we were dropping, me and Mazio, big up Mazio. Me and Mazio was dropping videos 2 times a month. Boom, drop another one. Mixtape after off the mixtape. There were so many different projects, so much different music. You didn't gravitate to it. Where were you? You were dancing. You were following him, right? I was still at war with him. On site. This is an on-site situation at this time. Every avenue was shut. So I go. That's life. And that's a long time. But now, all of a sudden, everyone wants to go to war with him.
And of course, users on the web mostly agree with him, but they also brought up examples of people who did. 50 Cent and the Locks were the only ones. Everyone has got balls after the lockup. And more on this note, Eminem, 50, Suge, Tupac, lots of people were confronting Diddy. And the most ironic part of this case so far is the fact that everyone who attended the Diddy parties all claim that they left early before the freak-offs began. Like somehow, no one stayed long enough to witness or take part in the freak-offs, despite attending multiple parties for decades. And moving on, during a segment from the Rory and Mal podcast about Pusha T whooping Travis Scott, Mal made a comment about Pusha T that sparked a roasting session.
We need to figure out what that secret email Push has that everyone sends shit to him. Because I know for a fact Push not walking around Calabasas or in the studio with those type of guys holding his phone up or recording shit. Push always does come with information that I know he wasn't really seeking. Mm-hmm. What is it about Push that everyone just comes in you know what? I can tell you right now. I need to know what those conversations are like. The shit people do in front of Pusha T that discuss him should be studied. I feel like Push just walks around and he's just like, ugh. Just like that.
But see, you know why I love it though? Because Push is like me. Pushes like me, we at that get off my lawn era in our life. Where it's like, we came up in this shit, now we just discussed it yo, look, you little dirty, get out of here. Don't talk to me, get away from me, shut up. Sometimes you gotta tell yo, shut up, man. I don't care that you lit and you sold a bunch, shut up.
Yeah.
Cause that's what this is, as far as Push is concerned. Travis is lit. Travis is more popular than Pusha T. Mm-hmm. More successful as far as numbers than Pusha T. All of that. Pusha don't give a fuck about none of that. Shut up.
That's also why the clout.
Sit down and shut up. You're not a rapper. Shut up. Stop acting like a rapper. Stop trying to talk like a rapper. Stop trying to move like a rapper. Cause you ain't gonna rap against nobody. And you definitely not gonna rap against me as far as Push is concerned, is what I'm saying. I can respect that.
And of course, users were quick to call him out as this blew up on X. Mal saying Pusha is just like me would have Pusha disgusted. And based on how Pusha T's been moving lately, some have suggested that we might get a deluxe version of the new album just to address this. Pusha gonna drop a bonus track on the album just for him. And based on all that Mal did for Drake during the battle, his take on Pusha T versus Travis Scott has sparked conclusions like irony is completely lost on Mal. And today we'll end it with Buffalo Bill producer Mark Batson, who reacted to this post. Eminem has some of the best deluxe/expanded editions out of any rapper. The tracks on those editions are on par or better than tracks off the regular albums. Some of my favorites: Buffalo Bill from Relapse Refill, Insane Delivery, Rhyme Scheme, and Dr. Dre snapped on the production. And we got this from Mark Batson, Buffalo Bill explosion emojis. Hands down one of the grimiest beats I ever worked on, with Dre and M in the grimiest of eras. And he added, I reminisce on that era sometimes, so gangster and grimy. And if I recall, the last time Mark Batson produced for M was on Music to Be Murdered by's Premonition.